Hey guys, what's up? I'm Priyanka and welcome back to the Football Fanspire, a talk show that brings you everything about football through the fans and for the fans. Here we give you passionate fans a platform to express your opinions, your views, and of course, have a little bit of banter. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also do have an Instagram and Facebook page where we do post a lot of memes, football updates, banter, and more. So do give us a follow over there. And if you want to be a panelist on the show, just DM us and you can get a chance to showcase your love for your club by coming on our show. Along with the new year came a lot of interesting matches that happened in the first week. And of course, we have some juicy clashes coming up as well. So we're going to be covering that on the show today. It's going to be super fun, so stay tuned. First up, we have the Serie A. Yes, we have Inter Milan versus Juventus, another big clash. But before we get into talking about the upcoming game, let's take a quick look at the league table. So as you can see, Milan are on the top, Inter is second, but Juventus is fourth, but they do have a game in hand. So it's going to be really interesting to see what is the outcome of this clash. A few people say that this may be a decider for the championship and eventually who wins. But of course, it's too early to say, and we have to look forward to the other games coming up as well. But without further ado, let's speak to our fan panelist for today.
Hi Priyanka, how are you?
Hi Rohan, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Great. Welcome back to the Fanspire. We're so glad to have you back.
Thank you.
All right. So before we get into discussing about the match and tactics, let me ask you a quick question. Okay. I want you to tell me your favorite club without actually telling me who your favorite club is.
So my favorite club is from Serie A, and the club has the best player of century. So you can guess my club.
Okay. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, an absolute goat, as we should say. And of course, he's been performing really well, but we'll come back to talking about that a little later. So, first off, the last time you were on the show, Pirlo had just been appointed as the manager, and it's
Hmm.
been a couple of months since then. So, are you happy with the way he's been doing things?
I am actually very happy because when Sari was our coach, we had a very defensive approach to the game. But with Pirlo appointed as the head coach, I think we've been little, playing little offensive, been playing attacking football, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with the coach, and I am glad. I mean, I'm hoping that we win one more title this year. And
Okay, but yes, you did say you're performing well, but you'll have dropped points because you'll had around six draws in the league. So,
yeah,
what about that? Do you think this clash, upcoming clash against Inter, is going to be a decider as to whether you can get to the top of the table or not?
it is definitely a decider. I think it'll put pressure on Milan and Inter because they are at the top of the table, and it's a very difficult game. And so the draws you've been talking about, we've been lacking a lot of concentration on the pitch. Like we're not finishing the game off. So I hope with Inter we can do that and we can win the match and put pressure on the table.
Okay, you did mention, y'all weren't focused completely, and there seemed to be a little bit of slips here and there. But you are also going to be facing Lukaku, who has been in pretty good form.
Right.
And how steady are your defense to counter their attack?
So currently we are out of some players due to Corona, and there are also some fitness issues in our team. And so with the lead not being there, I think
Mhm.
it'll give Cellini a chance to again come back to the team and and him with some experience that he brings to the team, I think we'll do great.
Okay, so you did mention, the coronavirus has got some players out, but
Yeah.
you all do have a couple of injuries, and Weston McKennie is one of them. And I don't think he could be playing in this
So I
clash.
just got to know that Chiesa and McKinney are fit to play
Okay,
again.
they are.
So yeah, they are. They
Then
are. So it's like a boost for us. So we're hoping.
definitely it would be a boost. How important has he been, though? He's 22 years old, and
He
definitely
has
I
been,
think people have been.
he has been amazing. Amazing impact to the team. He's young. He's fast. He also has a good decision making. So it's crazy to have him. Like we're happy to have him. So I hope he
Yes,
performs.
yes. So I've been, been looking at the stats and everything, and he's definitely as an emerging player somebody to look out for. So you're definitely glad to have him on your team. So since you're talking about the players in your team, what about Dybala? Like, of course he has been playing there, but do you think he's been treated right?
So I think I am sure Pirlo, he has a lot of experience playing the game. So I'm sure he must have thought something, to bench a player like Dybala. So because I agree he is not at his best this season. So he's getting chance to play, and I'm sure he'll be back, in the form he was last year.
Mhm. So
So
you
I
said, yes. Yeah, go on.
So I mean, it all depends on how you perform. So even the minutes given to him, he's not been impactful for us. So I think the players who are replacing him and playing in the team, I think they're doing better, and the the squad is very competitive. So to Dybala to get back to the team, it's a little tough right now with a lot of youngsters coming and playing really well actually. So I think Dybala has a tough job to do. But I'm sure he'll come back.
Okay.
He's one of our very good players in the team.
Yeah, of course, we have seen Dybala, like,
Very good,
your
very good.
class has been really good. But you are mentioning that we may see him get back to his form, but there have been rumors flying around that he may just transfer to PSG. So what about that?
PSG
Do you
has a
think it
lot
would
of
happen?
money, so it's very difficult to keep a player with so much money being offered to him. So I think, but I hope he stays because I'm sure with him we'll win the Champions League, and I want him to win the Champions League with Juventus because I think that's the main goal we've been having since a lot of years. So I think this year is
Okay.
our year. I hope so.
Yeah, but as you said, he hasn't been at his form lately. So don't you think moving to a club where he maybe managed better, maybe something that he's looking for?
I mean, I think so. He can be, but I don't want to think that because I really would not want to lose a player like Dybala to somebody, some team that he would make even better. So I wish that he stays with us and makes our team better rather than going to a rival and making their team better. So I think
Yes, I
I
can.
hope he stays. Yeah,
Yes, like it's like a dilemma for fans, because you want them to stay and perform their best, but then you also know that it's not working for them as their player because each player wants to be performing their best and just shining. And if that's not happening, that's obviously an issue. And you did mention about your bench strength. You do have some new players coming in. But what about Sanchez and Ericsson? They are there. I don't think they were played for the last area match, but they were played for the cup that you all played recently. So don't you think they're not being utilized? The potential there is just being stagnant.
I think maybe the coach is too hard on them. I'm sure they're very good players. They're very good players, and they've been performing very well in the previous clubs. So, I think I think that we've given no, Inter has given them a lot of chances to prove themselves, and they have not lived up to the expectations. So I don't know. I mean, I hope they don't perform well against us. That's all I can hope.
Okay. Mhm. Because there have been rumors flying again that Ericsson may want to make a move again. So
Yeah,
why did you all even buy him in the first place if
but we don't
you
have
all weren't
Ericsson.
going to?
We don't have Ericsson. Inter has Ericsson.
Okay, okay.
We don't have Ericsson. Inter and
Oh yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
Inter has Ericsson, and that was the
We were
question
supposed to
for
buy
me.
him, but then we did not buy him.
Yes, true.
Inter has Ericsson and Sanchez.
So we have a question from Vineet. Who
Okay.
is your best player according to you, other than Cristiano Ronaldo?
I mean, I've never thought anybody as good as him, but I would I would say Sergio Ramos, because if I had to go for a war, I would take him with him, because I know the leader he is. I think we would win any match with him on the team. So I think for me, apart from Cristiano, I think Sergio Ramos is the best player in the world.
Okay. There have been rumors again of him probably transferring. Do you think he would land up at Juventus?
I hope not, because I've been a Madrid fan myself, and when Ronaldo was there, but then I think Real Madrid is the best club to be at for him, and I hope he does not leave. Yeah, because then it'll make other teams better, and I don't want that.
Okay. Yeah, so you did mention that you are a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan, but do you think that Juventus have been relying on him way too much? And if he's not going to be there
Sure.
maybe for a game or
Mhm.
two, it's going to
Mhm.
have a massive impact on the team. Don't you think they rely too much on him?
We are. I think if you see the stats, I think 46% of our goals are scored by him the last year.
Hmm.
So he has been like the most impactful player in our team. But I think with Morata coming in, I personally did not like Morata when we signed him, but he surprised me, and I'm really happy with his performance. And with him, with Ronaldo not being on the team, I think Morata can take the charge and score for us. We have Kulusevski also; he's also doing very well. So I
Okay.
think we have good players to win the matches for us. But I think Ronaldo is the key factor for us.
Okay. So you don't think that Ronaldo is going to be there? Yes, Chinmay. Hello and welcome to the Football Fanspire.
Hi Priyanka, how are you? How are you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good. I'm good. So I believe you have a
So,
question for Rohan.
yeah, I have a question for Rohan actually.
Yeah.
I just heard you speaking about Dybala and how he is not getting on a team sheet due to the other players performing well and for various reasons. So
Mhm.
now we know that Pirlo absolutely loves Paul Pogba, who he has his agent speaking a lot outside, of the pitch. So, do you think Paul Pogba is an option Juventus might be looking at in the summer?
I think he is an option. He is for sure. He is. But then I think we have a pretty good midfield right now. With Pogba, I think he'll straighten our team. Like he'll make our team better. But I
Yeah.
think I guess he's performing well with Bruno. So I think you would not be willing to sell him to us.
Hmm.
And to be
Is
honest, Juventus, we don't have a lot of wages to pay. Like, we don't have money to pay so much for a big player. So I think,
for
man,
Pogba.
yeah, exactly. And Pogba is a pretty big player. So with him, our wages gonna increase. So I think we cannot afford him for right now. I think right now we cannot afford him. But I think
Okay.
probably in some years maybe he come back, make a Pog
Mhm.
back, like to Juventus.
Yeah, would be pretty good for both
We
manager
like
and
him
player.
to leave. We like him to leave.
Debatable because look, when he performs, Paul Pogba,
He
amazing.
performs, he performs well. He performs well in that white strips of yours, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I've seen a lot of memes about him thinking that he's playing for Juventus when he's
uh,
playing in that jersey. So yeah, I mean Paul Pogba, as you said, on his day he's a top player.
oh,
But when he doesn't play well or when he's out of form, um, there's
you
a
don't want
lot
him.
of
Yeah, you
yeah,
don't want.
yeah, and look, the Man United fan base is very reactionary. We all know that. One player you're on top of the world, and the next day
They,
you're
yeah,
you're just
they'll be asking
uh,
you. Yeah.
yeah, you're just not worth it, basically. So I would want Pogba to stay if he gives us the performances he is giving, but then we'd probably have to play in our away kit every single game. So let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, thank you so much, Chinmay, for that little input. So, Rohan, back to you.
Yeah.
The upcoming clash versus Inter. Who do you think are going to start, and what are your predictions for the match?
I think it'll be a 2-1. Score line will be 2-1. with I think
Okay.
Morata and Ronaldo scoring, and I think
Okay.
Lukaku scoring, from Inter. And
Inter.
we have Morata right now, so I think he'll start with Ronaldo in attack, and then we have McKinney, Bentancur we have in the midfield, and then we have Chiesa also with us. I mean, if he's fit enough, I think he'll play. And then we have Cellini, Benucci, I think Danilo at back. So I think we have a pretty good lineup, and I hope we, win at.
Hoping for a win.
Yeah, I hope for a win.
Okay, so thank you so much. Wishing you all the best for that clash. As a neutral fan, it's going to be fun to watch and see what each team will bring. But wishing you all the best. And thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
thank
coming on the
you,
Fanspire. It was great having you here.
thank you.
All right, that was our Juventus fan talking about the upcoming clash versus Inter. Now, moving on to the most, I should say, craziest league it's been this year, the Premier League. We've had so many different clubs in that top spot in just a matter of few game weeks that it's just impossible to even comprehend who may win the title this year. Of course, the Premier League, and we're going to be talking about the clash of Liverpool versus Manchester United. But before we dive straight into that, let's take a quick look at the table, which I was just talking about, which has been so crazy. Yes, here we have it. We can see Manchester United is on top. Like, I don't even think Man U fans expected this, but they sit currently at the top after, uh, beating their last opponent and winning that game. And they surprisingly even overtook Liverpool, who were at that top spot for quite a few days. Coming back, you have Manchester City. Like at the beginning of the league, they were somewhere at the eighth, ninth spot, and suddenly they have jumped up. So, as we said, it's such a crazy league this year, and we have Spurs fans hoping as well that they are going to win the title this year. It's going to be so much fun to watch, and of course, the upcoming clash is going to be so much fun to talk about. So let's get in our fan panelists. Yes, we have Chinmay and Shannon. Hi guys,
Hi, Shannon.
welcome to the show.
Hi,
Hi,
Chinmay.
Shannon. Hi,
Hi,
Priyanka.
Priyanka. Hi.
Hello, hello. Chandler, last time you were here on the show, you defended Liverpool absolutely brilliantly. I'm kind of scared to ask you any questions today, but super glad to have you back. And
Yeah.
Chinmay, a Man United fan, hello and welcome to the show. I know you have your own sports page. So, guys, don't forget to check out his sports page on Instagram and do give it a follow.
Hi, Priyanka. Thanks. And well, great show. I've been following you all for a long time now. So great show, and please tune into this show every week. Thanks for having
That's
me on the
great.
show.
Of course, we love having you all fans on the show. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you both a question. Can you tell us which is your favorite club without actually telling us which is your favorite club? Shannon, go first.
The most successful English club in European football.
Why would you beg to differ to that?
Well, I support the club which has the most league titles in England, and still leading Chanel, by the way. And we get trolled for a lot of penalties. So I think you know who I'm talking about.
Of course, yes, we have our two fan panelists, um, Chanel and Chinmay. And of course, Samar said this is war, so I think it is pretty intense clash coming up. Don't you think? How important is it for the upcoming clash? Shannon, go first.
See, I feel, just like you said, we have been on the top since the start of the league. And, it's all about consistent. When I was here the last time, Everton were on top of the league. They were one of our rivals. And it was like Everton's going to win the league. Ancelotti is killing it with Everton. Liverpool are down. They're better than us. But where is Everton now? That's the same thing. It's the same logic. the teams don't even make a difference, right? It's all about being consistent. We I mean, I was depressed after the Everton game. Well, we had a main man go after that. And it was a whole sad thing. I didn't even expect Liverpool to be on the top four after Van Dijk going, because he was such a important player for our team throughout. But everything changed. We took things ahead. We moved on from Van Dijk, and we stayed throughout, and that's why we are on second. And then we have United on top of the league, who we all know, even if you ask Chinmay that, if you take United as a top three team, in Liverpool, in England right now, I don't even think they are in the top three, like the best teams right now. They're not even in the top three. They're not even in the top four. No offense, but that's the truth. Like, they're in the best form right now. I must say that they're playing really well. One goal difference is fine but it's all about winning, right? They're in the best form right now, so I wouldn't say much. I would really love to see this game on Sunday, because I think the last 3 or 4 times we met, United were nowhere near Liverpool, or they didn't have the you know the whole thing about Man United Liverpool was all about Liverpool, right? Every time they gone on the field, I used to see United just playing a whole defensive game throughout. They never had the courage to go ahead, take the ball, score. I would always see a defensive game. I think the last 4 or 5 meets, it was all. I think the scores were tied, right? But the last time when we played Anfield, it was 2-0 or something.
Okay, Chinmay, you're at the top of the table for the first time in a long time, so I think you would like to say a lot of things to Chanel. So you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I mean, he's speaking about how United is just another Everton moment, like he just said, how it's the same logic. And I want to remind him that we're talking about January now. We're not talking about an early season form or something, because it's been 4 months since the season started. So you can't really have luck when you're talking about the table right now. That being said, the table right now will not win. Whoever's on top right now will not win the Premier League, right? You need to be on top at the end of the season. So I know Chanel, of course, he's very confident. He spoke a lot about a very defensive approach from Man United and whatnot. But I want to remind him that last season, when they were in, blistering form, they started off the season very well. They dropped their first points to Man United at Old Trafford, and I think they got the winner. I think they got the equalizer in the 86th or 87th minute through Adam Lallana. So I don't think it was a very attacking approach from Liverpool there. 1-1 at Old Trafford, of course, and admitted, yeah, 2-0 at Anfield last year round. But it's been a year since United lost away. The last away defeat United have had was at Liverpool, and we've been in amazing form throughout the season. We've dropped only 2 points away so far. That was at Leicester on Boxing Day, and again, as I said, we cannot be on top in January through luck or through penalties, right? United are playing well. Chanel might not like to admit it, but come Sunday, probably it's a must-win for Klopp. For Ole, well, if we lose that game, I don't want to. We remain second and level in points, still there with a chance. If Liverpool lose 6 points off the top of the table, Chanel will not be happy with that. I'm pretty sure with that.
Well, I
Okay,
can say, not having, United being 6 points on top, but without even thinking, I know they're going to drop that 6 points. Or maybe to us, they're going to drop 3 points, or they're going to drop points against City, or there are all other good teams up there better than United throughout. But when it comes to Liverpool, they don't have the courage to play that. If I would say, you know, just like you said, the last time when we played at Old Trafford, Lallana scored the 86th minute, when, that ended up the scores being tied. That's how it is, playing defensive throughout. And just like you said, the last away win, like the game that United lost, was to Liverpool, man. So they haven't played Liverpool till then. And we have two cup ties. I think FA Cup is also there. And I think I'm really excited for this, because I've been grown up, in a place where I had like 10, 11 United fans, and being that one Liverpool fan throughout, right? I never got to see that, the good part of United actually playing Liverpool, or United being confident to take on Liverpool in a way where they're sitting on top of the league, right?
Yeah, well, Chanel, I'm pretty sure whatever you say, you've spoken about your place where you were the only Liverpool fan in front of 10 or 11 United fans. We aren't taking 30 years to win a Premier League title. Don't worry, we'll have one soon enough. We will not have to wait for so long. Don't worry.
Okay. Um, so, Shannon, you did mention that Liverpool have been consistent, but they just recently lost to Southampton. So,
Yeah, we lost to Southampton, but that was Danny Boy who scored against us. It was a hard part, but that was a good goal. I mean, just like you said, we lost against Southampton. We bought a lot of players from Southampton, but I would say we're just flabbergasted because of the injuries we have. It's just maybe more than the other teams in the league. And depending on I wouldn't say injuries are the only reason, but they are the main. We don't have a full team playing, right? We don't have a good defense right now, if I would say. But when we're playing United, I do not expect my best team to even, come and perform. I can have Fabinho there, we can have Reece Williams there and play, still giving a big shot, unless we have someone diamond in the penalty area and just winning a penalty on that.
Yeah, so about that, Chanel, I don't think you've read a very good stat which came out today morning. Without penalties, right? Because we get trolled for a lot of penalties. Without penalties, we're still going to be second on the table. Without penalties, Liverpool sit 10th on the Premier League table. So next time you talk about penalties, think about where you would be without the penalties. And accord also with your point, I'm pretty sure when we come there on Sunday, as you said about a lot of excuses as you're giving, which your manager loves to give out too, because for the last 1 or 2 seasons, we've seen if Liverpool loses, sometimes it's the wind, sometimes it's the ball, sometimes you lose to Southampton and you say United have a lot of penalties. Not making a lot of sense, of course, but I think Klopp United's getting to his head, so you pretty well know that Man United come Sunday, Man United do pose a lot of threat, and again and again you can look at the table for the next 2 days. You're welcoming the team on top of the table, so respect that team. It's Man United, buddy.
Just like you said, uh, I've seen those stats. I saw those stats last night, not this morning. But I would say the penalties which we won were fair enough. Then the penalties you all won, because it was all about diving. I mean, if you would ask anybody in the comments here, they would all just tell you about that. That United penalties weren't fair enough throughout. Right, and the win thing that was last year, man, throughout. And by the way, if you want to talk about what my manager said, I mean, Ole just said that it would be a big shock if they win against Liverpool on Sunday. I mean,
Speaks
if I
facts,
played for
buddy.
United and if my
Speaks
manager
facts.
said, if it's a shock for us to win against a team, I would just be like, hey, man, just
No,
leave.
no, come on. So exactly, he's speaking facts
That's not
for
being
all
down.
all Man United fans who are playing Liverpool, who know that we're playing Liverpool on Sunday, right? So even I heard Pogba say it, I heard Ole said it, because when United are playing Liverpool on Sunday, United cannot consider themselves to be on Liverpool's level, of course, because for that they need a Premier League medal with them. And Liverpool have been amazing for the last 2 years. Amazing is too little a word to describe how Liverpool have been. But for United, again, as I'm saying, it I cannot say not one fan, as Priyanka said at the start of the show, not one fan dreamt that Man United will be top of the table in January. No, not one fan dreamt that. Okay, right? So we're happy with the way things are right now. We are going to Anfield on Sunday. We look, if we get a draw, we're still on top of the table, right? So that's a win-win for us. If we win against Liverpool, wow. Liverpool is the only team Ole hasn't defeated in the top six since he's come in. He's defeated all the other teams, right? So Liverpool is the one milestone left in the top six. If he goes to Anfield, breaks your record of the last, I think you lost in 2017, right? To Palace. So if he breaks that record, imagine the ruffles he'll be creating in Klopp's hair. Imagine. You imagine Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Paul Pogba, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes. Imagine them beating your Salah, Mane, Jordan Henderson. Imagine United winning on Sunday. How would it be, for a Liverpool fan sitting second on the table and losing to Man United?
Why would I imagine something that's not going to happen? I mean, I can't even think of it. Like, it's not
How?
even
How are you
near.
so sure? How are you so sure, Shanil? How are you so sure?
Because if I'm trying to think about it, it's just not coming in my mind. So I'm really sure about that
Yeah,
because
well,
it's just not coming in my mind. Looking at like Bruno Rashford at Anfield scoring like goals and defeating Liverpool. Come on, I tried. See,
pretty,
when you
pretty.
think I tried imagining
So,
that,
Chanel,
it's not
you're telling me you imagined or you knew that Southampton going to be defeating you because United
why
went away
not?
to Southampton. United went away to Southampton, scored three. Cavani, a 33-year-old, scored two goals, assisted one, and beat Southampton 3-2. You couldn't get one shot on target till the 75th minute, buddy.
That's a different game, dude. I mean, if we
No, I'm,
compare
I'm, I'm
about
just
we
talking.
played to
I'm just talking to
Southampton,
you. You
we
you
played.
can never be sure with Man United. Look, I'm a Man United fan, and I can tell you that myself. I can never be sure what my team is going to put out. Okay, on Sunday, I'm going to be as scared as you, and I support the club. That is the state of Man United right now. I'm going to be as scared as you because I'm going to be thinking if Bruno plays his heart out today, wow, we can go and beat them 3-1 or something. If Bruno has an off game, if Klopp decides to man mark Bruno, if Martial and Rashford are back to, what they were last season during the first half, then again, we're losing probably 3-4 nil. So, but you can never be sure with Man United. I'm pretty sure you agree with that, right?
I'm very sure that we're not going to mark Bruno because we don't have defenders to do that. That's the if we spend one defender on marking Bruno, I think we'll have to concede 3-4 goals. I'm very sure we're not going to mark Bruno throughout. It's all about playing attacking. I think I've never seen Liverpool playing defensive on Anfield. Anytime we lost to Atletico on Anfield the other day, some months back in the Champions League. We never played defensive. We went for the goal every time. I wouldn't see the Klopp would man mark Bruno for a game. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I
Like,
have a question. I have a question to you about that. Yeah, because I wanted to ask you. You just put that point out. Looking at Man United and looking at how even you've got to agree now that Man United the front three for Man United are very very good when they're in form, right? So do you think Klopp just might change his approach for this match, probably going out a little defensive caution, or do you still think he's going to be pressing ahead and going attacking?
that's the thing about Klopp, right? I think he's still gonna press ahead. When I don't want him to press, he's still gonna press. But I think for the United game, I would not wish him to not press because I don't see, trust me, I don't see United just coming and hitting at us and taking the advantage. I don't see that happening. I don't think Klopp is gonna, just stay back and just going to play defensive and think that I'm not going to press. That's not happening. I mean, like if our top three is there, we still have injuries. We had Jota who was in great form, not playing and stuff. But I wouldn't. That's not something which Klopp would do. I wouldn't want him to do that.
Okay, guys. So, as much as we've been all enjoying the banter, let's talk a little more about the tactics about the upcoming clash. But because, especially for Man United, because Ole, does he have any kind of solid strategy in mind? Do you think he's just going to solely rely on Rashford and Bruno? And also to mention to you, Chinmay, at the beginning of the season, your defense was terribly out of shape in many matches. So, do you think it may be a mistake that may just cost you a win or a loss?
No, I don't think so. Because when United played Spurs, the first top six rival in October, we got hit for six, and a lot of criticism came our way. came United's way about their defense, about how they're not defensively doing well, how they needed a centre back, and a lot of things came Ole's way. Everyone wanted Ole out, everyone wanted Maguire to probably be benched. The international break went off. We came back to Newcastle, and since Newcastle, it's been amazing. We did lose to Arsenal in November, at the beginning of November, but the defense, it's been amazing. Yeah, I know. Look, come on. You have your defeats, we have our defeats. It's okay. So,
Yes.
uh, the defense has improved a lot. I'm It's all about Man United, isn't it? Because when Man United's not doing well, you have about a million people coming and saying, "Oh, this team, it's not good enough." When they are doing well, all of the haters they'll just stay quiet. They will never praise the defense. They won't praise Maguire how solid he's been. Look, we know he's not the best. We know that, but he has improved a lot during the course of the season itself. I don't see a defensive error coming on Sunday. I
Okay.
think there's a lot of selection dilemma about Eric Bailly and about Victor Lindelof. So that is something which will probably something to look out for from Ole's side.
Okay. I think Shannon's reaction just made up for everything. I'm not going to ask you, Shannon, about your thoughts on it. But very quickly, can you tell me one thing that you terribly dislike or hate about Man United?
I mean, if I could start today, we could just
Just
go
one
on
thing.
and
Just
on.
one thing.
Till-
No, no, just one thing.
Oh,
Just one
the
thing.
one thing I would feel is just praising Sir Alex Ferguson way too much, I feel.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
I have another thing to say. And, you
Okay.
know, just thinking if the penalties are fair.
Okay. Okay, Chinmay, one thing you terribly dislike or hate about Liverpool.
Liverpool. I hate Liverpool. I hate
Okay.
Liverpool. I hate the club. I hate how it's built because look, being honest, there are a lot of fans who have come on who joined the bandwagon about a year back. I think even Chanel will agree with me. There are a lot of fans, Liverpool fans, who suddenly say, "Oh, I've been supporting Liverpool since I was a kid," and so the fan base is very toxic. They wanted Henderson to be nominated for the Ballon d'Or. What else can we say? But
o-
yeah, the fan base. I think I just hate the fan base of Liverpool. So that's one
Okay.
thing.
Okay. So my next question was going to be one thing that you actually like about Liverpool, but can you give an answer after that strong reply about just hating Liverpool in general? Do you have one thing that you can appreciate them for?
Look, I can appreciate totally because I'm a football fan. Yeah, so I can totally agree and see the work Klopp has done. Absolutely amazing. 2015, the man came in for Liverpool, and the way he's built his team around, and he's suddenly got them winning a Champions League. He's got them winning a Premier League. Deserves a lot of
Yes.
appreciation. So that is one thing I
Fair
love
enough.
about Liverpool.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Shannon, one thing that you can appreciate about Man United.
David Beckham.
Okay, okay, that's it for that question. Now, let's move on to getting your predictions for the match. Chinmay.
Well, I'm thinking again a defensive approach. To be honest, he'll probably play McTominay and Fred. So I'm not expecting a lot of goals to go past our defense and our holding midfielders. I predict a 1-2. I a 0-1 or a 1-2 victory. Anything with a goal difference of one. United probably go and edge this out for me. Not being very optimistic, not saying that we'll go out and score three or four, but I really think United might just edge it out this Sunday.
Okay. And Shannon, your predictions and the score line?
I think it's going to be 3-1. I think Thiago is going to score, Mane is going to score, Salah is going to score, or Rashford or Bruno is going to score from United. Because I would say Trent is not on his best form, and I could say that Rashford has a chance to actually exploit that. So let's say that Rashford's going to score a goal, but it's 3-1 anyway.
Okay, we have a question. Was 80 million worth for Maguire? Chinmay, that's for you.
Overpriced. He is not worth 80 million. We know that. All football fans know that. Overpriced, but he is a good defender. A lot of stick coming his way for the price he's been bought for, of course. Well, we all know that. Same happened with Pogba. Same happens with any person in the excess of 60 or 70 million. But again, he's a very good defender, and he's only improved since he's come in. And one fun fact for all football fans: he hasn't missed a single Premier League minute since he's come in for Man United, and this is his second season. So he has been very solid for Man United and has played every game. Club captain. So respect.
Okay, cool. And just for banter's sake, I'm going to put out this question to either of you. How many penalties are we expecting for Man United to in the upcoming game?
One. I'm expecting one. I'm
I think
expecting
one
one
for
penalty.
I think it's
Channel.
one for each.
Okay, so let's hope it's an interesting match, and we'll see how many penalties uh, either team may eventually get or not get. It's all up to the refs. But again, it was a very, very interesting talk we just had. It was absolutely fun just watching you two banter. I was just here enjoying it in the background. But thank you so much for coming on the show. Unfortunately, we have to end. We could definitely keep going. Y'all both could definitely keep going for another hour, I feel. But thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so amazing, and we hope to have you back soon, maybe when your club plays again. But thank you so much to both of you.
Thanks.
Yes, and sadly, we do have to end the segment. I know it was pretty fun. They were just bantering and going on about each other's clubs. And yes, let's see what happens on Sunday in the upcoming clash. It's going to be really interesting to watch. So don't forget to follow us on our social media pages because we'll be giving you updates and live updates about it. So stay tuned and do give us a follow. Again, a big thank you to Chups and Bounce. You can also follow them on their social media, which is given here. A big thank you to all the fans watching. We love y'all and thank you for putting in your questions. It's what makes the show so lively. And of course, do tune in next Friday, same time, same channel. We'll be there.